You won't believe how easy it is to split a user story.
In this video, I will walk you step by step through the process of splitting an epic user story.
User stories are a powerful tool for developing great products. Physical tangible products like Google Pixel phone or software products like Amazon Marketplace. Development of all products starts with a single user story,
which makes the user story the smallest imaginable unit of that product.
But these units are useful only when the user stories you're writing are small enough to be unique and big enough to be valuable.
How do you write user stories like that? Well, that's exactly what we are going to be talking about in this video.
Hi everyone, my name is Vibor and I am an executive product coach, meaning I help companies simplify their product development process. If you have done any research online, you have probably come across a lot of different techniques for splitting user stories. But there is one method in particular that I have used time and time again with a lot of success. It's called WAHZUR. I first shared WAHZUR along with this other technique called T-split in one of my previous videos, and since then, both of these techniques have gained massive popularity.
6 basic patterns. WAHZUR. I later devised a few techniques of my own. The easiest of them all is T-split technique.
So if you are interested in learning about any of these techniques, I highly recommend you watch that video that you can find in this corner. I created WAHZUR for the people who are new to this whole splitting business. It guides you through the steps, including every angle necessary to split the story into small, manageable chunks. T-split, on the other hand, is a bit advanced technique in the sense that it gives you the freedom to decide how broad and deep you want to go in on an epic. Something that you will naturally evolve into after practicing WAHZUR for some time. I'll show you what I mean by that near the end of the video. But for today, the focus is mainly on WAHZUR, which is made up of these 6 different components: workflow steps, acceptance criteria, happy and happy path, 0-1 many, user roles, and rules, or the business conditions. Alright, but before we could split a user story, we need a large user story or an epic. Here is what we are working with today. As an online shopkeeper, I want to implement a loyalty program system so that I can reward frequent customers. Now, usually when I come across a user story like this, the first thing that I do is simplifying it by breaking it down into 3 fundamental parts: user, role, and benefits. So for this epic, user roles are online shopkeeper, online shopper. There could be others as well, as we will see later in this video. End goal is to implement a loyalty program system, and benefits are rewarding frequent customers. Rewriting the story like this makes it easier for your brain to process. It reduces the cognitive load and gives us 3 clear areas to focus on as we start splitting the user story. Alright, let's dive into the first component of WAHZUR, workflow steps. But first, what exactly is a workflow step?
Let's break it down with a simple example. Let's say one of my end goals is to wash clothes in the washing machine. Now, believe it or not, that's a pretty huge task for me. So I learned to break it down into a series of sequential steps. First,
I need to remember that it's my turn to wash clothes. Go upstairs to the laundry room, find the dirty clothes, load them into the washing machine, add detergent, and done. Simple, right?
Well, not exactly. It is actually the sequence of steps that makes the most complicated task in the world simple.
In the same way, when we split a user story, the first thing that we need to do is break it down into the steps that are required to achieve its end goal. And we do that by asking ourselves a simple but powerful question: what sequential steps the end user will follow to participate in the loyalty program? Now, the answer to this question may not be straightforward, and that's where the knowledge about the domain comes in handy. For example, if you understand how loyalty programs work, you know that first, the customer needs to be able to easily enroll in the program. Once enrolled, they should earn points for the purchases automatically or manually. The system needs to track these points accurately, and the customer should be able to view their points balance and see how they can redeem those points for existing rewards. And of course, we need to keep the customers informed about the points and any program updates through timely notifications. Now, for simplicity's sake and to prevent the video from getting too long, we will focus on the first 4 of these workflow steps. Each of these steps can now be turned into smaller and more manageable user stories. For example, for the workflow step customer enrollment, the user story could be, as an online shopper, I want to easily enroll in the loyalty program so that I can start earning rewards for my purchases. For the workflow step earning points, the user story could be, as an online shopper, I want to earn points based on my purchases so that I can redeem them for valuable rewards. For tracking points workflow step, the user story could be, as an online shopper, I want to view my points balance and transaction history so that I can track my progress in the loyalty program. For redeeming points, as an online shopper, I want to redeem my accumulated points for attractive rewards so that I can enjoy the benefits of being a loyal customer. The key to using workflow steps is to think about the sequence. What comes first? What comes next? By breaking down the process into steps, you create a roadmap for your development team, ensuring that nothing important gets overlooked. Moving on to the second component of WAHZUR, the acceptance criteria. Now, what are the acceptance criteria in the first place? In short, they are the conditions that must be met to call the end goal a success. Let's apply the same thinking to our loyalty program. For each story that we wrote in the workflow step, we need to define some acceptance criteria. This helps us nail down what done really means and what needs to be built and tested to ensure the story delivers value. Let's write the acceptance criteria for our customer enrollment user story, which is, as an online shopper, I want to easily enroll in the loyalty program so that I can start earning rewards for my purchases. What does done look like here? Let's say, number 1, the join loyalty program button is super easy to find right there on the home page and the account page. Number 2, the enrollment form only asks for the basics like name, email, and takes no more than 2 minutes to fill out. And number 3, after signing up, the customer gets a confirmation email with their loyalty program ID and a nice little welcome message. Now you can easily convert these criteria into user stories. For example, as an online shopper, I want to see a join loyalty program option on the website so that I can easily find where to sign up. As a potential loyalty program member, I want to fill out a simple registration form so that I can quickly join the program without hassle. And number 3, as a new loyalty program member, I want to receive a welcome email so that I understand the program benefits and how to start earning points. Easy, right? Let's look at another example and repeating the process with the second step in our workflow. Earning points. Here's the user story we wrote for earning points. As an online shopper, I want to earn points based on my purchases so that I can redeem them for valuable rewards. Alright, let's write some acceptance criteria for this user story. Number 1, points are earned based on the total purchase amount, excluding taxes and shipping, of course. Number 2, points show up in the customer's account within 24 hours of purchase. Number 3, the customer can see the points balance right on the order confirmation page and on the account dashboard. And yes, you guessed it, each of these can be easily converted into a user story as well. For example, as an online shopper, I want my points to be calculated based on the total purchase amount so that I know I am being rewarded fairly. As an online shopper, I want my points to appear in my account within 24 hours of my purchase so I can track my rewards in real time. As an online shopper, I want to see my points balance on my order confirmation page and in my account dashboard so I can easily track how many points I have earned. We can easily repeat this process for tracking points and redeeming points workflow steps. By setting these criteria, we not only make sure that we have smaller, more manageable chunks of these features to work on, but also that these features work exactly as expected. Alright, that's how you use the acceptance criteria to split a large user story. But we are not done yet. Let's dive into the next component of WAHZUR. Happy, unhappy paths. Happy, unhappy paths help us imagine 2 types of hypothetical scenarios that the user might run into while going through these steps in the workflow. Yes, the same workflow steps.
But how do we find these scenarios?
It's easy, really. To find the happy paths related to your workflow step, ask this powerful question to your team. What does a successful workflow step looks like? And how will the system respond to that success? And your team might come up with happy paths. Like for customer enrollment, a happy path could be your customer enrolls successfully, to which your system response should be send a welcome email with program details. For earning points, happy path could be customer earned points on purchases, to which your system's response should be calculate and add points to balance. For tracking points, Happy path could be customer views points balance easily, to which your system's response should be display real points in transaction history. And for the workflow step redeeming points, happy path could be customer redeems points for rewards, to which your system's response should be deduct points from the balance.
All right, what about the unhappy paths?
For unhappy paths, ask your team to answer this question. What could go wrong with the workflow step? And how will the system handle it? Now, your team may come up with some unwanted scenarios, like for customer enrollment, unhappy path could be invalid email during enrollment, to which your system's response should be display error and prompts for valid email. For earning points, unhappy path could be purchases includes excluded products, to which your system's response should be calculate points only for eligible products. For tracking points, unhappy path could be system is under maintenance during access, to which your system's response should be it displays a friendly message with estimated resumption time. And for the redeeming points, the unhappy path could be insufficient points for reward redemption, to which your system's response should be it displays message suggesting points needed.
Awesome, but we still have to write the user stories.
That's easy. For example, for the happy path customer enrolled successfully, the user story could be, as a newly enrolled customer, I want to receive a welcome email with program details so that I feel informed and engaged from the start. And for the unhappy path system under maintenance during access, the user story could be, as a customer, I want to be informed when the points tracking system is under maintenance so that I know when I can check my balance again. Pretty straightforward. Let's move on to the next component of WAHZUR, 0, 1, and many. Now, there is no need to be confused in this. It's very simple. 0, 1, many is a way of thinking about different scenarios by considering the boundary conditions of 0, 1, and many instances of the given event, or in our case, the 0, 1, and many instances of our workflow steps. Let's look at an example. Let's apply the 0, 1, and many component to our customer enrollment workflow step and see how it works. For our customer enrollment workflow step, 0 would mean zero enrollment. How the system will behave when the customer is not enrolled. For example, the customer may see an enrollment button on the homepage to encourage them to enroll. Moving on to 1 would mean one enrollment. How the system will behave when the customer is already enrolled and tries to cancel or pause the membership. For example, the customer should be able to cancel the membership on the membership page. Finally, many would mean, well, many enrollments. How will the system behave if the customer tries to enroll multiple times? The system shall deny multiple enrollments on the same email address. Straightforward? Now, again, with these scenarios defined, you can easily convert them into user stories. For example, as a customer who is not enrolled, I want to see an enrollment button on the homepage so that I can easily start the enrollment process. As an enrolled customer, I want to have an option to cancel my membership on the membership page so that I can discontinue the service if I choose. As a customer who is already enrolled, I want the system to prevent me from enrolling again with the same email address so that I can avoid creating duplicate accounts. Super easy. Now you can repeat this process with the rest of the workflow steps. Moving on to the next component of WAHZUR, user roles. All right, this one is very simple. All you have to do is identify the users who will ever interact with your system. For a loyalty program, this could be online shopkeeper, online shopper, guest customer, marketing manager, and customer support agent. These are just the examples. You can work with your team to identify who else could be interacting with your system. The second step is to ask this question for each identified user role. How would the user interact with the system? For example, online shopkeeper may want to configure loyalty program settings. They may want to view overall program performance metrics. They may also want to manage product catalog and assign point values. Our loyal online shopper might be interested in checking their current point balance or quickly redeeming points for rewards or for discounts. And they may also want to view their purchase history and points earned. Our guest customer could be looking to understand the benefits of joining the loyalty program, see how many points they could have earned for their current purchase, or they might be looking to find an easy way to sign up for the program. The marketing manager might be interested in creating targeted promotions for different customer segments to analyze customer behavior and loyalty program effectiveness and to set up automated email campaigns based on point milestones. And our customer support agent would probably want to look up the customer account and point balances and to assist customers with enrollment or redemption issues. All these wants and needs can now be easily converted into user stories. For example, one of the user story for the shopkeeper could be, as an online shopkeeper, I want to be able to configure the loyalty program settings so that I can set up the program for my business goals. For the online shopper, we can have, as a loyalty program member, I want to easily see my current point balance and available rewards so that I know what I have earned and what I can redeem. For guest customer, a user story could be, as a guest customer, I want to see clear information about the benefits of joining the loyalty program so that I can decide if I want to sign up. For marketing manager, the user story could be, as a marketing manager, I want to be able to create and manage targeted promotions for specific segments of loyalty members so that I can drive engagement and sales. And for the support agent, the user story could be, as a customer support agent, I want to be able to quickly look up a customer's loyalty account details and transaction history so that I can efficiently assist them with any issues or questions. All right, it's now time to discuss the last component of WAHZUR. Rules. Just like user roles, this component of WAHZUR is also very simple and straightforward. Think of rules as the business conditions that govern the system being developed. For example, if Jeff Bezos decides that starting next month, Amazon Prime members will pay a minimal shipping fee on selected items, which, if you don't know, is free for Prime members, then all he is doing is imposing a business condition. In the case of our loyalty program, these business conditions could be enrollment eligibility, which is only registered users can join, points earning rate, that is, at what rate the points will be earned. For example, standard rate is 1 point per dollar spent. Another one could be at what rate the points can be redeemed. For example, 100 points is equal to $5 discount. Another one could be points expiration. For example, the points expire after 12 months, etc., etc. To find the business rules or conditions, all you have to do is ask this question for each workflow step. Which business rules does the product owner, the shopkeeper in this case, wants to apply to the workflow step? And you will come up with rules similar to what we saw earlier. Each of these rules can be easily converted into a user story as follows. As an online shopkeeper, I want the customer to register before they can enroll in the loyalty program so that I can collect necessary customer information and manage their loyalty accounts effectively. As an online shopkeeper, I want the customer to earn 1 point for every dollar they spend in the shop so that they remain motivated to make more purchases. As an online shopkeeper, I want discounted items to not earn points so that I can manage cost. As an online shopkeeper, I want the points to expire after 12 months so that the customers are motivated to return and redeem their points within a year. And that's how you split a user story. But before you leave, here's a quick word on the T-split technique. If you followed along and watched carefully, you must have noticed that WAHZUR is nothing but a guided version of T-split. How can I say that? When we defined the workflow steps, all we did was divide the user story breadth-wise: enrollment, earning, tracking, redeeming. All of these cut the epic into sequential steps, with enrollment on the left and redeeming on the far right. We then went deep into each workflow step, cutting it with WAHZUR. And that's T-split. Where WAHZUR gives you step-by-step directions, T-split gives you the freedom. It's just like Scrum, which gives you some prescription, while the Kanban board gives you, well, a board. For this reason, if you are starting out, I highly recommend you start with WAHZUR. And when you get a hang of it, you will automatically switch to T-split. Let me know in the comments if you want to see another such video on splitting user stories.
Also, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.